How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about Bill Burr's Grammy performance, which had quite a few people upset on the Twitters. And when I say people, I don't mean regular everyday normies that may watch television or listen to music casually. I'm talking about some of the blue check mafia people, the heavy Twitter users, that whole sphere of toxic people. Out of that, quite a few of them were upset. Now, one of these blue check mafia guys got so upset, so triggered, so beside himself, so befuddled, and just consumed with anger that he went and attacked Bill Burr's wife as a quote unquote minority sex servant that Bill Burr owns like she's a slave. I'm like, wait a minute, what did Bill Burr's wife do? She was not on stage at the Grammy. She didn't say any kind of jokes or anything offensive. Why are you attacking her? Like, what does she got to do with it? Now, before I even get into what the specific tweet said and what Bill Burr's wife said, let's get into what Bill Burr said that caused all the controversy. And spoiler alert, it's not a whole lot here, okay? It's not a lot here, but this is enough to get some of these blue check mafia people to reveal what they think. You know, because one thing about this video that I got to just say right now is that it's not even about Bill Burr as much or this guy. It's about how the far left think about you, about me, about everyone else. All right. They don't want to say it in front of you. They don't really want to say it even on television at the podium, but they'll tweet it in responses and behind closed accounts. They'll say it here and there or let it slip out. But once you catch it, now you're able to see what they really think about you. It's like, you know, drinking and then going on a rant. It's like whatever you said when you were drunk and you were ranting, that's pretty much how you feel. But let's get into what Bill Burr said, because this whole thing is pretty crazy, if I do say so myself. And let's go ahead and get on the screen right here. And you see the headline, Bill Burr in hot water with feminists over Grammys joke as he predicted. Now, this is going to be kind of a letdown because not a whole lot here. Like, I'm going to read this little piece up here and that's all. So let's get into it. All right. While presenting the honor for Best Tropical Latin Album, a 52-year-old funny man joked that, quote, feminists are like going nuts. Why is a cis white male doing all this Latino stuff? That's it. That was the first violation right there. So by him saying, why is a cis white male doing all this Latino stuff, that's somehow offensive. All right. But beyond that, he also said he wanted to, quote unquote, kill himself during a protracted piano performance that preceded his appearance. So it's one of these long, drawn-out performances. It's kind of sad. It's one guy by himself. It was pretty depressing, like I said. If I'm on the ledge and they're trying to say, hey, ABO, come on down from the ledge, and then they play the piano guy, I'm talking about I'm going Harikari, Sayonara, Geronimo, I'm out of there. No parachute or nothing. But anyway, the next one here is, first up again, and mispronouncing the name of the best regional Mexican music album, including Tejano winner Natalia Lafourcade. I don't know what that name is. If I butchered it, it's not my fault. Blame the white man. But anyway, he says, I can't say the name. The Grammy goes to Natalia Lafourcade. Don't know what her name is. The fumbling funny man said, I will accept on behalf of her. If I butchered her name, I'm sorry. Natalia, you won. Needless to say, the social media masses excoriated the prophetic stand-up for allegedly not taking his presenter gig seriously. So that's it. That's all right there. So he mispronounced the lady's name, and he said he's sorry, but that's still not enough because she's a woman of color, and you can't do that. And then he said that the piano solo was sad, and he wanted to ice himself. So you're making fun of mental illness and depression, and then also he says, I'm a cis white male doing this Latino stuff. Why am I here? He's using your language, cis white male. So why is that somehow offensive? But that's all that he did. That was it. A true nothing burger, bit to nothing burger. But let's get to what this guy said. Now, the guy that made this tweet is in reality a nobody. Clayton Claiborne Griffin. I guess he's an author or something. He has a blue check beside his name, but doesn't have much followers. Not a guy that I know at all. But he just might have been in the wrong place at the wrong time. Okay, you got a blue check. People can see you. It's right then when it's happening. So this is probably the most ratioed tweet ever. And what I mean by ratioed is the people that don't like versus those that like it. All right. It's a big dislike to like ratio. So let's get into it. Now, here's the first part of the tweet. This is the background of it. So they were trying to say Bill Burr's a racist because of what I just showed you on screen about the Grammys and not pronouncing the lady's name right. That's somehow racist. Although he said he's sorry. If I butcher your name, I say the same thing all the time on my show. I'm like, if I butcher your name, I'm sorry, blame the white man. It's a joke. I mean, what am I going to do? I can't pronounce it. But they were calling him a racist. And then this person here says Gen Z calling Bill Burr a racist. Bill Burr and his beautiful wife, Nia. And that's his wife right there. Been married since 2013. So they've been married for a little while now. In Hollywood, that's like forever. Okay, less than 10 years is like 25 years in Hollywood. But anyway, here comes Mr. Genius Claiborne and says, while I'm not suggesting that Bill Burr is a racist, a white man having a non-white wife can sometimes be a sign of racism. So you shouldn't assume someone isn't racist just because they own a minority sex servant. They may very well have one just because they're racist. Now, own a minority sex servant. So is she a slave? Because she's black, I mean, she's a slave. And she did not have any kind of say-so in getting married to this man or not. They didn't exchange vows. They didn't exchange rings. They didn't go through holy matrimony, jump the broom, or whatever you want to call it. They didn't do that. He just kidnapped her from a hut in South Central LA and told her, you're going to be my wife. Is that what happened? This is a grown woman, obviously, well put together, looks very nice. And that's what you're going to say, minority sex servant. So you're not even attacking him. Matter of fact, he says, look, I'm not saying he's a racist, but you got a minority sex worker basically, and you own her. So you might be racist. So you're attacking her. It's crazy. It's totally crazy. And then there's more here. He, wanted to defend himself. And then one guy's like, hey, man, I'm pretty sure you're the racist. And then his response was, nah, it's taken out of context and being spread by the alt-right in order to obfuscate the original point and paint a narrative that critical race theory is racist. Well, critical race theory is racist, but you're moving the goalposts. Nobody mentioned anything about critical race theory. You're talking about this man's wife. What does that got to do with critical race theory? Okay, people were saying that Bill Burr was a racist because of his Grammy performance, and then someone said, well, he's married to a black woman, so it's kind of hard to get that one off, and he didn't say anything racist there, and you want to call her a minority sex servant and that she's a slave because she's owned by Bill Burr, and then you want to point to critical race theory. You want to try to deflect and obfuscate yourself. Talk about projection right there. Now, Bill Burr's wife, Miss Nia Renee Hill, she responded, and I may need to blur some of this out on the post-production, but here you go. So, in just about 5 words here, she said, blank, shut the blank up. So that's pretty clear what she feels about that, 100%. And then, of course, the guy wanted to still try to be like, oh, no, I didn't do nothing. And he says, as I mentioned, talking straight to her, as I mentioned, I'm not referring to you or Bill. I don't know you two. But you call her a minority sex servant. You said that he owns a minority sex servant. Speaking about his wife. He's speaking about her. So don't try to throw us on the hide your hands, sir. But you know what? This is far too typical of the left. The white liberals, black liberals, or whatever. This is how they behave. They want to say that they're so loving and tolerant and liberal and accepting, but they're the most hateful, the most ridiculous, nasty, and troublesome people that exist. This is what I get all the time on my email. Oh, I get the craziest, most racist things. Okay, N-word, 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 N-word all day on my email, and they try to spam me in my YouTube chat. It's the white liberals. It's them doing that. It's not the conservatives or anybody. And even when I was on the left, as I close, even when I was on the left battling against the right on these online forums, I will never get the racism that I get now from the left. It's crazy. Okay. Now imagine what kind of racist hatred from the left, the white left, the people like Candace Owens get and Brandon Tatum. I remember I was watching this video about a police officer. I think it was over on the left coast dealing with Antifa. And the guy was like, I've never been called so many N-words so quick and so fast in my life than dealing with the Antifa crowd and the Black Lives Matter crowd. Yeah, Black Lives Matter, but F you N-word. I'm going to go do whatever I want to do. I'm going to punch you in the face and I'm going to spit on you and everything else. That's pretty much how they operate. So as I close, I want to say this. This guy is a nobody. Claiborne Griffin is a nobody. But his thought process is far too common. Very common. The issue is that a lot of guys don't have the cojones to come out and say what he said in public. They'll say it in private among themselves and private chats, Telegram, Facebook, where nobody is watching. All right. But then when they go out there to the public, oh, Black Lives Matter, hands up, don't shoot. That's why these people, they end up tearing your neighborhood up. I mean, think about it. Why would somebody come to a black neighborhood and tear it up and try to help black people? Maybe they don't like you. Maybe they're tearing your neighborhood up with your help, by the way, in Black Lives Matter. If you black, white, or whatever kind of, they tear it up if you're on the left and you help them because they don't like you. That's really what it is. This is a big part of the reason why I've left the left, because I realize how toxic, hateful, and destructive they are. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? How do you feel about this guy saying what he said about Bill Burr? Whatever your thoughts on him are, let me know in the comments below. How do you feel about what Bill Burr said? Was it a nothing burger? Absolutely. But if I'm wrong about that, let me know in the comments. And you guys pretty much know where I stand. I don't think Bill Burr did anything wrong. The statements there weren't even really much. It was like nothing. It wasn't even really like a joke with a punchline or anything of the sort. Like when I heard it was going to be a controversy about what Bill Burr said, I'm looking for a whole set with a punchline and whatnot. He was just giving general commentary, hosting the show. It wasn't anything at all. But of course, some of the outrage mob on the internet are going to find a way to get offended. But in their offense, in their anger, they're going to tell you some things you didn't know about them before. See, I already know about it, but some people out there are just now experiencing it. Are you going to see it a lot more? Keep your eyes peeled to the streets, to the internet streets. You'll see it. You'll definitely see it. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.